Mr. Weber, 2003 was not your favorite year.
No, it wasn't, Your Honor.
You were a terrible, bad boy.
Yes, I was.
All right. Okay, now let me get your stuff, your pack of stuff. We will go on the record in the matter 03-TR-1612, County of Burnett versus Colt Weber. It's Weber, correct?
Yes.
The state appears through District Attorney James Renicky in person. Mr. Weber appears in person without counsel. We're here today on a hearing request by Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber has filed a lot of documents.
2003, a young man named Colt Weber faced a year that would shape his future forever. Reckless decisions, fueled by sudden wealth and immaturity, led him down a troubled path of OWIs and legal battles. Today, inside a Wisconsin courtroom, his past is being laid bare. What began with poor choices and missed hearings has now resurfaced almost 2 decades later. As the judge revisits Colt's history, a bigger question emerges: can someone truly rebuild after years of mistakes? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more real courtroom stories.
A lot of trouble.
Yes.
And as I understand it, it got you into a lot of trouble in the state of Illinois.
Yes.
And you got 3 OWIs.
Yes.
And then you got into trouble here in Wisconsin, probably visiting family or friends.
Yes.
And you got an OWI in Wisconsin.
Yes.
And then from 2003, from this case, you got that OWI 3, and it was filed as an OWI, or that OWI, it was filed as an OWI 1 in 2003. But you were gone. You were back in Illinois.
Court transcript reveals a young Colt Weber caught between states, laws, and consequences. Illinois, Wisconsin, even Arizona. His trouble spread far beyond one jurisdiction. Years in prison added weight to his journey. But it was a letter from behind bars in 2020 that changed everything. Seeking resolution, Colt pleaded guilty without an attorney, unaware of how this decision would follow him. What seemed like closure at the time only created new barriers to rebuilding his life. Now, he stands before a Wisconsin judge, asking, not for sympathy, but for a second chance.
Or something. And then a warrant was issued based upon that filing. And because there was another criminal matter that went along with it. I think it was like possession of a switchblade and possession of a controlled substance, right?
Yes.
And then you didn't come to court because you probably went back to Illinois. And then, so the warrant was issued, and sometime in between, I don't know what for or what you did, but you went to prison, right?
Yes, in the state of Arizona.
I was going to say it was in Arizona. You did something there. And then, so you went to prison sometime. And then in 2020, while you were in prison, you contacted the court and you said, hey, I want to
Colt's efforts to rebuild his life shine through in court. After his release, he returned to Danbury, Wisconsin, surrounded by family support. His transformation was clear, serving as a volunteer firefighter, seeking stability, and working to leave the past behind. Yet, as he tried to reclaim his driver's license, another roadblock appeared. Illinois law imposed a strict for strikes and done policy revoking licenses for life after for OWIs, regardless of where they occurred. This discovery turned his guilty plea into a devastating mistake. His request now, reopen the case and allow him a chance to drive again.
And you were very grateful with that, and you paid those off right away. And then you pled guilty to that OWI first ticket, right?
Yes.
But again, then after the fact, you got out of prison, and then you moved from Illinois or Arizona, wherever you were, and you came up here to Danbury to be with family.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you've been rebuilding your life, and now you're working at the fire department as a volunteer fireman, and you're doing all kinds of things to have a stable, secure, and law-abiding life, correct?
Correct.
And then little did you know, as you were trying to rebuild your life and get...
District Attorney James Renick acknowledged Colt's struggles but stressed the limits of the law to Renick. The conviction was final, a deal already struck years earlier. He argued that there was no legal ground to reopen a case so old, even if sympathy existed. Yet, the judge saw something more in an individual who had grown, changed, and worked to leave the chaos behind. Questions of fairness and rehabilitation clashed with the rigidity of legal precedent. The tension inside the courtroom was clear. Would the justice system close its doors or allow redemption a path forward?
So you get 4 OWIs on your record. Doesn't matter where you get them, 4 and done, and you can't get your driver's license, correct?
Correct.
But you didn't know that when you agreed to plead guilty to our OWI first in Wisconsin, correct?
Correct.
And so after you found this out, you're willing to do whatever it takes, do what you can. You'd have an ignition interlock device for, you would say 10 years if you needed to, correct?
Correct.
Whatever you need to do because you want to get your driver's license back because you're still relatively young and you want to work and you want to build your life and you want to work at the fire department, correct?
Correct.
And so
Judge's decision marked a turning point. Against the prosecutor's objections, the court agreed to reopen Colt's 2003 OWI case, citing his lack of legal counsel and lack of understanding at the time of plea. But with evidence nearly 20 years old, the state had little ground to stand on. The district attorney moved to dismiss, and the judge granted it. What followed was rare in American courts: a conviction erased, a door to the future opened, yet the warning was stern. Another OWI would mean permanent revocation in both Wisconsin and Illinois.
UI, I don't think you're asking necessarily to reopen the misdemeanor case matter, but you're just asking the court to reopen that OWI and to see if there's some other way to work this so that you can essentially be given a second chance.
That is correct.
All right, so Mr. Renicky.
Thank you, Your Honor. First of all, I would point out that for quite some time, most of the states in America have gone to lifetime driver's license records and nationwide records. So there's something of an interplay with the Department of Transportation. They basically...
The dismissal was not just legal, it was personal. He shared his transformation, years sober since 2016, taking fitness and firefighting seriously and pursuing wildfire training opportunities. He explained how prison gave him time to reflect and rebuild, reshaping the man he wanted to be. The judge, listening carefully, noted the sincerity in his journey. Rarely do courts allow such grace, but Colt's dedication to self-improvement and his service to community tipped the scales. This moment underscored a larger truth: rehabilitation is possible, and sometimes the justice system recognizes it.
Or essentially vacating or dismissing a conviction once it's been entered, especially when it's been multiple years after it's entered. And although I'm sympathetic to his plight now, we were sympathetic to his plight back when the convictions were entered 3 or 4 years ago. And he received the benefit of the bargain then, and now it seems like he wants a little bit better bargain and to vacate things, and there just really isn't a legal
Well, I'm
basis to
granting the
vacate it.
motion to reopen, so we're gonna have a trial.
Okay. Well, given the age of the evidence, then if you reopen it, then the case will have to then be dismissed, and that's up to the court, I guess, but I just don't.
The courtroom exchange revealed the humanity behind legal records. Friends and community ties stood alongside Colt, showing he was no longer alone. The judge reminded him that this decision was a gift, one not given lightly. With his license now closer than ever, responsibility weighed heavily. Illinois still loomed in the process, but Wisconsin's dismissal provided a path forward for Colt. This was more than regaining the right to drive, it was regaining control of his future. The past had not defined him permanently, the judge made clear. The real test begins now.
License, and it was a lifetime revocation. So, but I'm going to warn you right now, Mr. Weber, that if you get another OWI, you will have a lifetime revocation in not only Illinois, but in Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin now has a OWI 4 lifetime revocation. It's very serious. So that means no drinking and driving for certain. What are you doing now with your life? I know what you're doing as a firefighter, but what else?
As of right now, I got plenty of work through the tribe. I got plenty of work even up here.
This rare case highlights the fragile balance between law, punishment, and redemption. A man who once spiraled into reckless living was given a second chance, not because the system bent easily, but because he proved his transformation. From troubled youth to volunteer firefighter, Colt Weber's story is one of resilience, yet the judge's warning still echoes. One mistake could undo it all. For now, Colt walks away with hope, freedom, and a future to build. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real courtroom documentaries.